out, we look in. Come as you are.
Welcome to Get Hot Yoga. This is your 45-minute yin class. I'm Jessie Siren. And today, if you have available to you a bolster or a block, go ahead and grab that. If you don't, things like a pillow from your couch will be great. Blankets rolled up can act as a bolster. Books even. Just use what you have to support yourself. And let's begin. Let's just do a little grounding. Let's begin lying flat on our backs, feet rooted to the ground. Take your feet about as wide as your mat, and then allow your knees to come in on each other. We're going to call this resting posture. So take a minute to kind of wiggle out your low back and make sure that it's nice and spread out like a pancake here. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And kind of feel yourself settling here to the ground like dust, like ashes. All the pieces of you just settling to this point in time, right here, right now. So with the knees resting in on each other, we have this awesome opportunity to relax the psoas muscle, one of the deepest core muscles in the body. And as we relax this muscle, we in turn have a ripple effect up to the mind. We relax the reptilian mind, our instincts for fight or flight. So tapping into that awareness, feel yourself kind of softening here, relaxing, letting all of the chaos from the day start to fall away. And from here, we'll focus on the furthest away sound that we can. So find something outside of the room, maybe outside your window, and wrap all of your faculties of awareness around this sound. Nothing else exists. And then pull yourself in a little bit closer. Find something in the room. It can be the hum of a refrigerator, maybe someone on the phone in the other room or a television, maybe some quiet music you have playing. Wrap yourself around this one sound and let everything else fall away. And finally, reeling yourself in, getting as close as you can to yourself. We'll bring both hands to the heart center here. One hand stacks right on top of the other. And we'll tap into two things here, the rhythm of your heartbeat and the rhythm of your breath. And here we'll start to tap into a conscious breath, your Ujjayi breath. So with your lips gently sealed, start to drag in a breath through your nose. A little more intentionally, a little more audibly. And when you exhale, let that exhale move right back out through your nose. The same way, intentionally, audibly. A few more breaths like this, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. So as you continue to feel the heartbeat and to breathe this deep, conscious, oceanic breath, now just see if you can wrap yourself around the sound of your own breathing. And this is a tool we'll use for the next 40 minutes in any posture. When you feel yourself slipping away, maybe your mind is wandering to to-do lists, maybe you're reminiscing about the past or fretting about the future, bring yourself back to the sound of your own breath. Let it call you back to the moment. Let it anchor you here, now, in your body. So as you rest here and trace your breath, I'm going to offer up an intention. Something we can weave into the deeper levels and layers of our consciousness as we start to open up the body slowly and deeply. This card here represents the infinite self. When I close my eyes and locate the still, quiet part of me, I enter a portal of infinite possibilities. All things, all potentials, all creativity exist in this inner space. Allowing myself to linger in this space without sliding into old thoughts about who I am or whether I am worthy brings great relief, healing, and even bliss. I can let go for a moment and surrender, sensing that nothing and everything exists simultaneously. This is why moments of quiet stillness are so important for me. It is here that I find my infinite self dwelling in the sweetness of this very moment. Our affirmation today, short and sweet. My infinite self dwells in the sweetness of this very moment. So, my infinite self dwells in the sweetness of this very moment. Some of these postures might not feel incredibly sweet for you. Yin can sometimes be a little uncomfortable. So the challenge here then is to try to find that sweetness in your breath, in the rhythm of your heart, in the knowing that sometimes discomfort can bring about great transformation and deeper self-awareness. We're going to move into our first shape. So with your knees still resting in on each other, you're going to take your arms out to goalpost arms. So elbows in line with your shoulders, arms at a 90-degree angle. And you're just going to start to gently open the heart. So we're going to work in layers, and we're going to start slow, and we're going to move our way deeper. I like to think of the body as like a tightly folded bud. And if we pull back those petals too fast and too hard, we interrupt nature's process of a natural blossoming. So here we just nurture, we invite breath like rain. We invite consciousness like sunshine, and slowly the body begins to open. If you've lost your Ujjayi breath, come back to it here. And feel yourself start to expand in the space between elbow and elbow. The ribcage growing and swelling with your inhales. The belly swelling with your inhales. And then everything falling and relaxing on the exhale. Go ahead and glide our chin over to the right shoulder. And just feel a gentle opening along the left side of your neck and shoulder. We'll take a few breaths here, expanding the breath and our awareness of it from the belly and the ribs. Now can you start to move the breath into the spaces we're stressing? So see if you can move your inhales into the left side of the neck and shoulder. Now keeping your chin towards your right shoulder, we're going to take our left hand, palm face down like you're high-fiving the ground, and we're going to slide it underneath the body, anywhere between the tailbone and the shoulder blades. So we're getting this really awesome internal rotation and using the weight of the body to traction now here, opening a little deeper through the left side of the neck and the shoulder. The lower your hand is on your back, the less intense you'll feel sensation in the shoulder, and the higher up, the more. Breathing deeply here, tapping into that sweetness. So here is a good place for me to go over the 3 tattvas or pillars of Yin Yoga. The first being something I call the Goldilocks theory. We move into each shape only to the extent we are not experiencing any pain. Not too little and not too much. So you meet yourself at that very first place of resistance, and then you stop there. You wait to be invited deeper. The second is stillness. So we're trying to bypass all the large muscle groups that we move around as we talk and walk and move in everyday life, and get into the more subtle layers of the body, the connective tissues, joints, fascia. And then finally, time. The longer we can stay in this conscious state of discomfort, the more deeply we can affect the body. And very slowly, you'll press into your heels, lift your hips, and slide that left hand out, meeting back at goalpost arms. And we'll just glide our chin right over to the left side. Taking some deep, slow, conscious breaths now into the right side of the neck and shoulder. Everything in layers, so if it feels really abstract to imagine breathing into your neck or shoulder, be okay with that. Everything in time. And if it's helpful, sometimes using the visual that you could actually pull breath in through the very cells of your skin. So imagine pulling your inhale straight through the neck and shoulder, and your exhale back out that same way, softening. And just like we did on the first side, now you'll press into your feet, identify your right hand, and go ahead and sweep it behind the body. So anywhere between the tailbone and your shoulder blades, honoring that first place of resistance, never charging through it, and then settling back into the dust, back into the ash. All pieces of you, all parts of you here. Notice where your mind is right now. Where were you? Where did you go? And without judgment or criticism, just noticing. Bring yourself back to your breath, back to your body. Recognizing that for the next half hour or so, time you have dedicated to this practice, there's nothing you can do about anything else. And that it will all be waiting for you when we're through here. And we'll take one more breath in on the right side, inhaling deeply, exhaling, softening, just one more fiber of yourself. And then pressing into your heels, lifting your hips, you can slide your hand back out. And why don't we take a little break? We'll stretch the arms up over our head and reach for the back of the room. Maybe you want to stretch your legs out towards the front of the room. Point your toes, reach and extend to the whole body. Feel the low back peel away from the mat and breathe into the front side of your body, opening your heart. And we'll stay here for just a couple breaths, inhaling and exhaling along the front side of the body now. And then pulling our knees back in, feet plant firmly to the mat, and we'll just rock the knees left and right a few times. And we'll meet back in resting pose, feet wide, knees resting on each other. And if you notice that there's some tension, there's some holding, it's difficult to keep your knees together, you can always use a pillow, a rolled up blanket, or a bolster between your knees. You might just be a little tighter through your hips and need that extra support. So from here, we'll move a little deeper into the heart. We'll start to open up by reaching the arms up over the head and reach for opposite elbows. So reach for whatever's accessible, maybe just the fingertips, maybe the wrists. Maybe you can go as far as the elbows. But wherever you are, try to really sink into the ground. So let the ground hold your arms up If you feel yourself getting tense through the eyebrows or through the neck and shoulders, consciously release there. And then start to channel the breath along the left and right sides of the body, really lengthening with your inhales, and your exhales really softening. My infinite self dwells in the sweetness of this very moment. Go ahead and notice which hand is on top or which arm is on top and switch your grip. So if you're here, you're just going to switch. Switch which arm's on top. We'll take 3 more conscious breaths in this shape. Inhaling first into the belly, feel the belly grow. Into the ribs, feel the ribs expand and the sides of the body grow longer. And when you exhale, maybe open your mouth and let out a sigh, maybe even a sound. Let the body release how it wants to, how it needs to. And I'll do this 2 more times, inviting a kind of organic release. And with your third exhale, really squeezing every last drop of breath out. And then slowly inviting your arms back down to the torso, maybe pulling in your knees. And we'll give ourselves a gentle hug here. You can hold on behind the knees or onto the shins, and we're just going to rock a little bit left and right. Feeling that low back, the sacral area, massaging ourselves gently here. And then we'll roll onto the left side of the body. And do this in a way where you can get nice and comfortable, like you've just rolled over in bed. So maybe you use your arm under your head as a little pillow. Maybe you use a pillow as a little pillow. Maybe you want something between your knees for some support. When we lie on the left side of the body, we give both the respiratory system and the cardiovascular system a little bit of a rest. So this is a really great place to lie after a meal or after a stressful day, after a big meal or a stressful day. And with our eyes closed here, we'll again come back into the body, feel ourselves taking up all the space in the head, in the shoulders, arms, fingertips, in the front and the back of the heart, in the ribs, in the back, in the belly, in the hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, feet and toes. And we'll start to deepen our ujjayi breath here a little bit. So we're going to actually play with the breath a little, and we're going to start on an exhale. So go ahead, take a deep breath in. And our breath cycle is going to start on an exhale. And as you exhale, you're going to squeeze at the bottom of the breath, really pressing every drop of breath from the body, leaving lots of space for the inhale. And inhale through the nose. So this is the breath cycle right now. Exhaling and squeezing the breath from the body. Inhaling and kind of just allowing that inhale to flood back in. So effort on the exhale, a more passive receptiveness on the inhale. So we'll take a few moments just channeling this breath. And imagine at the crown of your head, with every inhale, a golden light is growing. It's growing to encompass not just your head now, but your shoulders, your heart and upper body. Every breath growing more. Now your belly, your low back, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, ankles, feet and toes. We'll go ahead, wrapped in this cocoon of golden light, we'll move into some deeper postures here. We'll place our right hand in front of the heart. Now listen, before you press yourself up, you're going to let your left ear stay nice and heavy toward your left shoulder. So press yourself up to a seated position, but your left ear is connected, glued to your left shoulder. So we have these nice mermaid's legs going here, right? Right leg on top of your left. We're going to lean into the left hand. Grab onto something. So maybe you can grab your ankle, your shin, your knee, your thigh. And really let the head be heavy. Opening again into the neck and the shoulder a little deeper. Take one more breath cycle here, inhaling, exhaling through the nose, squeezing all the breath out, using your left hand to kind of press yourself up but keep your head heavy. You're going to bring your left hand along the left side of your face, and we're going to practice trust falling our head into our hand. So we can activate through the neck and the head by pressing our head into our hand, pressing our hand into our head, and experience full release by letting go of both of those things. Activate by pressing your head into your hand into your head, and then releasing fully. The next time you feel your head fully released, use the strength of your left arm and hand to press your head all the way up through center, a little bit past center. And then we'll roll our shoulders a few times. Right ear to your right shoulder, chin to chest, bring it around. Just a couple more circles here, releasing any crackles. And we'll turn to face the front of the room, the front of your mat. So we'll find one ankle stacked in front of the other. And we'll start to get a little deeper into the neck. So this time bring your left ear to your left shoulder, chin to chest, and take a few circles in the opposite direction here. And the next time your chin is heavy at your chest, pause there. And invite a little weightiness into your head. So allow your chin to really connect or reach towards your chest. And now we're going to invite the breath into the space between the shoulder blades, into your back body lungs. So inhaling with intensity here. Maybe pausing at the top of your inhale and feeling that fullness in the back body before exhaling, softening. Just a few more breath cycles here. And at the bottom of your next exhale, Start to roll up, engage your core gently, belly button to spine, and start to pull your chin back to roll up. So we're looking to give ourselves a kind of yoga double chin. And you're gonna pull your chin back as hard as you can. So you're like, Jabba the Hutt. And then release it about 20%. Find that perfect cervical alignment. Beautiful. So for this next little part of the series, you have the option of taking both your legs and your arms together, or just the arms. This focus today is on the heart, shoulders, neck. So yogi's choice. If you'd like to take the legs, you can tuck your left heel back towards your right glute for cow face pose and stack your right knee on top. If this feels too intense but you'd like to explore the legs, you can go ahead and just stretch your bottom leg, your left leg out in front of you. So here is where a strap could come in handy. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. But if you don't have a strap available, you can grab onto your own ponytail, you can grab onto like a kitchen towel, a robe, like anything like that. We're gonna bring our right hand up and give ourselves a little pat on the back, and then sweep our left hand behind us. So from this position, it's not even important necessarily that you connect to anything, but just that you're feeling something. And we can do this by just engaging the muscles gently, lifting our right elbow up and in towards the ceiling, and really emphasizing that inward rotation on the left arm. If you can connect your fingers, connect your fingers. If you need to jump up and grab a kitchen towel, grab a kitchen towel. And then just come into that sweet spot. Your heartbeat, your breath. And you. For the last 20-30 seconds here, you can stay with your arms here in stillness, or experiment with dropping your left ear towards your left shoulder. Tapping again into the neck, releasing a little bit here. And we'll just take 3 conscious, deep, and slow breaths here, inhaling through the nose. And inhaling straight into wherever it is that you feel resistance, tension, holding, discomfort. Exhaling, sending 1 particle of that holding, of that discomfort out on the wave of your breath. And when your third exhale comes, gently, trying not to be spring-loaded about it, releasing your hands, keeping your left ear heavy towards your left shoulder if you've opted for that variation. And again, trust falling your head into your hand, and then allowing the strength of your arm and hand to press our head up. And we'll unwind the legs. If you've taken the leg variation, everybody will meet with their legs stretched out here. And we'll give our knees a little love, so you can just cup the kneecaps and just do gentle circles around the kneecap. You can squeeze and release a little bit. We'll bring our hands behind us and just tap the backs of the legs on the mat. This is great for anyone who's struggling with restless leg syndrome or varicose veins. Rock your feet a little bit. And we'll go right into the second side. So this time, we'll have so right leg extended out this time if you did on the first side. And left leg comes in on top. Or you can tuck that right heel all the way back. Thank you. So get yourself nice and comfortable through your legs, and we'll lift our left arm to the ceiling. Give yourself a pat on the back, and then reach behind. For your ponytail, your kitchen towel, maybe it's just an active, energetic reaching, or maybe you can connect fingertips. And start to slow down your breath, bring yourself back into your body. And pull those inhales into wherever you feel stuck. And if you did so on the first side, maybe you explore on this side as well, taking your right ear towards your right shoulder this time, and directing your breath a little more intensely into the neck and shoulder. We'll take our 3 more breaths here, inhaling deeply into something closed off and tight, and exhaling, sending one particle of that tightness, that tension out on the wave of your breath. And then keeping your ear relaxed towards your shoulder, we'll release our arms. Trust fall your head into your right hand. When your head is as heavy as it can be, use your arm to press your head all the way up and through center just a little bit. And release your legs. Roll your shoulders. Find a way to move intuitively here where you're releasing anything that might have gotten a little stuck or tense in that last shape. So again, you can tap the backs of your legs on the mat. You can rock the feet in and out, massage the knees. Okay, for this next part of the series, I'm going to rely on the people without a big 7-month pregnant belly. But we're going to come onto all fours on the mat. And we'll just invite a little gentle and slow conscious movement into the spine. So we'll go ahead and tent the fingers, Spider-Man hands or gecko fingers. And inhale, open the heart towards the ceiling. Open the sit bones towards the ceiling. Feel a nice stretch along the belly, the heart, and the throat. And stay here for a couple breath cycles, inhaling and exhaling. And with every breath cycle, exploring ways that you can find more space. So maybe your shoulders can move away from your ears a little more. Maybe your neck, the back of your neck can get a little longer. Maybe you can spread your tailbone, your sit bones a little wider behind you. And then we'll exhale, we'll root through the palms of the hand. Curl chin to chest, curl tailbone, pubic bone under. And the same action here, we're opening up through the back body now. See if you can invite more and more space into the body with every inhale and exhale, using your breath as a tool of exploration. And then slowly exhale, sinking your hips back towards your heels. We'll take a child's pose, and if this is uncomfortable for you, you can take your bolster, a rolled up blanket, a pillow, and wedge it between your hips and your heels for support. And we'll start to crawl ourselves forward. And we'll take a few different stages in this, about 30 seconds each. And if at any stage you feel like this is my edge, stay there. Remember from the beginning of class, the longer we can stay at an edge, at a place of discomfort, the more deeply we can serve ourselves in our own healing. So stage 1, we're here, softening our hearts towards the ground, rooting hips towards heels, letting your heart kind of hammock down here. We'll start to get a little deeper into the heart here. I'll invite you to bring your hands to a prayer position in front of you, thumbs to the nape of the neck. So bring your hands, your fingers pointing towards the back of the room. And you can even wiggle your elbows forward a little bit more for more depth and opening through the armpits and the heart. So if you find that your head is not connected to something here, you're kind of dangling in space, roll up a mat, a blanket, use a pillow, find some way to connect your head down to the earth. This takes off any strain from the neck and shoulders and helps support the cause of relaxing fully. So you can stay here, or we can start to move ourselves forward into Anahata, heart opening, heart melting posture. So we'll bring ourselves forward onto our hands and knees and start to walk our hands forward for a deeper heart opening, armpit opening, throat opening action. So stage one of this posture would be to bring your forehead to the mat. And as you start to feel more space in the cervical spine, you can explore stretching your chin forward. So you want to keep your hips anchored here, right above your knees, and bring your heart down to the ground. And if you feel a little bit like slippery through your fingers and your arms, explore letting your body kind of just move in the direction that it wants to, knowing that eventually your chest, your heart will catch you. So whether you're in child's pose with prayer, or anahata, wherever you are, you're coming back to that sweetness. Your heartbeat, your breath. This moment here and now where all is well. We'll take our 3 phrasing deep conscious breaths in. I don't know what time.
I was just going to say 5 minutes.
Leaning into something closed off, something tight, making resistance. Just exhaling, giving ourselves permission to soften. Just one more molecule. Take our third exhale, come, deep, conscious breath. So you press yourself back to a child's pose if you're in anahata, nice and slow, sliding yourself back. And gentle, something closed off, something tight and resistant. Exhaling, giving ourselves permission to soften. Just one more molecule. And we roll ourselves up. Pulling that shin back to roll up and get tall. We're going to face towards the right this time. Find your mermaid legs. Nice and slow. And now you're going to grab yourself back. Or your gentle body pillow or rolled up blanket or towel, and make sure that's available to you. And we'll first go into the stretch on this on the left side of the neck that we did on the right. So you'll hold on to something. Ankle, a shin, that shin back, thigh up and get tall. Sink heavy into your right hand and let your right ear fall. Face towards the right this time. Find your mermaid legs. And now you're going to grab your breath this time into the left side. A body pillow or rolled up blanket or towel, and make sure that's available to you. And we'll first go into the stretch on this on the left side of the neck that we did on the right. So you'll hold on to something. An ankle, a shin, thigh. Take one more breath, sink heavy into your right hand and let yourself building pressure, building tension on the inhale. And then consciously softening your breath this time into the left side of the neck and shoulder. Using your right hand, walk yourself a little bit closer to the midline of the body. Trust fall your face into your right hand. And when your head is as heavy as it can get, use your right arm and hand to press yourself all the way back up. So do some breath cycle here. Feeling yourself building shoulders out a few times. Your conscious our bolster and drag it right alongside the hips. Turn yourself forward, and for our final resting posture here, a restorative shape. You'll start with your feet planted on the mat. Roll yourself back and allow when your head is as heavy as your torso to be like supported or something here. So take up some space. Spread your arms out towards the side, shoulders out a few times. And then experiment with what feels like rest for you in your body. So maybe stretching your legs out, maybe keeping your knees bent, maybe stretching one leg out for a bit and then the other. Find what serves you in your body now. And allow your torso to be completely supported. So take up some space. Coming full circle back to our intention of infinite self. And experiment with what feels like my infinite self dwells in the sweetness of this very moment. Legs out, maybe keeping your knees bent. Maybe feel yourself taking up all the space in your head. And your shoulders, arms, hands, fingertips. And your throat, heart, ribs, back body, belly. Feel yourself in your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, feet, and toes. Feel yourself taking up all of the space in your body. And then feel for the edges of yourself. So the place where the air in the room meets your skin. Feel the weight of gravity on your body. And the gift of Pachamama, Mother Earth, holding you up. Cradled in the space between, give yourself permission to just let go. For just a few breaths, for just a few moments. Just let go. Between the stars and the sea, we have everything we need. Between the stars and the sea, we have roots and we have wings. Between the stars and the sea, we have everything we need. Between the stars and the sea, we have roots and we have wings. Between the stars and the sea, we have everything we need. Between the stars and the sea, we have roots and we have wings. Rest here in this sweetness for as long as you can. Blessings of health, abundance, and joy.